Countries across Europe are tightening their once liberal migration policies, a stark departure from their earlier positions as humanitarian superpowers. Sweden, a country that previously welcomed over 160,000 asylum seekers in 2015, is now offering immigrants up to $34,000 to leave voluntarily. This dramatic shift, part of what Migration Minister Johan Forsell calls a paradigm shift, marks a significant reversal in the Nordic nations' approach to immigration. The move comes as Sweden grapples with rising crime rates, with violent crime doubling in the last decade and sexual offences increasing by 56% between 2013 and 2021. According to the local media, 90% of the perpetrators of shootings in the country are first- or second-generation immigrants. This policy reversal stands in stark contrast to 2015, when former Foreign Minister Margot Wallström proudly declared Sweden a humanitarian superpower. The country now joins several European nations in recalibrating its stance on immigration. In neighbouring Denmark, a similar shift is underway. Former Prime Minister Anders Fogh Rasmussen remarked that he often cited Sweden as a deterring example of mass immigration. Denmark has since tightened deportation laws, reduced refugee quotas, and introduced legislation allowing authorities to confiscate migrants' valuables to offset accommodation costs. Migrants in Denmark can now receive up to $22,330 if they choose to leave voluntarily. Germany, too, has ramped up efforts to curb irregular migration, especially in the wake of recent extremist attacks. Last month, a Syrian asylum seeker's knife attack in Solingen left 3 people dead, an incident inspired by the Islamic State. Another attack in June by an Afghan immigrant resulted in the death of a police officer and injuries to 4 others. In response, the German government announced plans to extend border controls to all 9 of its frontiers, potentially straining relations with its European Union neighbours. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki condemned Germany's decision as unacceptable, while Austria has refused to accept migrants rejected by Germany. Elsewhere, Hungary continues to pursue a hardline stance. The government announced plans to offer free one-way travel to Brussels for asylum seekers, an effort to pressure the European Union to lift fines imposed on the country for its restrictive policies.
If the European Union, Brussels, wants to force Hungary to let in the illegal migrants, those we have stopped so far 1 million times at Hungary's southern border, then Hungary, after the implementation of the European procedure, will offer these illegal migrants a voluntary, free of charge, one-way ticket to Brussels. If Brussels wants illegal migrants, Brussels can get them.
Hungary, under Nationalist Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, has consistently opposed the EU on migration. The European Court of Justice has ordered Hungary to pay a fine of €200 million for violating EU asylum rules. However, Orbán's government deliberately missed the deadline and said it was prepared to sue the EU officials for border protection costs. As Europe grapples with the consequences of mass immigration, the continent appears to be undergoing a profound transformation, one where its previous role as a beacon of humanitarianism is giving way to stringent migration controls.